So guys, what's going on? So it's another video, and today we are back, and today, welcome to another episode. Welcome to this week's iteration of ARK Survival Evolved News, going over the ARK Weekly Digest. So today we have a bunch of cool news coming out of here, along with a couple dinosaurs I want to talk about, and some of your very own questions I'm going to be answering at the end, so let's jump right into this. To begin with, all owners of the Stomping Land on Steam will actually receive a special cosmetic item in-game. I think it's like shades or something of the sort. It doesn't give you any advantage at all, it just looks badass. They have nothing to do with the Stomping Land, but they're doing it to kind of as a sign of goodwill, saying, hey, we're better than those assholes who turned out to be a total scam, you know, and here, we're gonna give you a little something for believing in them and turning out that they're fucking assholes. So I think that's a really good sign of goodwill by the team. They also detailed a little bit about the mounting and taming system, where after a dinosaur is tamed, you can actually release him from your ownership. He does stay tamed while that has happened, I think, and then another survivor, like one of your friends or something, can actually claim the dino, which leads to the question that maybe there will be dinosaur trading in-game, and it'll also work for kind of loaning your dinosaurs to friends, so they could help there. And I mean, maybe, you know, we can start a dino emporium. We'll start a little rent store where we let people rent our dinosaurs, you know? A lot of cool opportunities there. And awesome news, they released some new screenshots showing off a bunch of cool stuff, like what seems to be a giant turtle, a hippo walrus snout thingy-mabob, showing off some bats in the caves, showing off the Titanoboa in the cave, and also showing off the megalodon in its natural habitat. The bat is the Onychonycteris, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Its snout thing, I believe, is actually pronounced Phiomia, and I couldn't find a pronunciation for the turtle, but I believe it is called something like the Carbonemis, something like that. And yeah, that's really it for the screenshots, just showing off some currently known creatures that we know will be in the game, along with some new ones that we possibly didn't know about that they didn't show off before. And I mean, I'm happy to get new screenshots, show off some more of the game, and make it look awesome. Now then, on to the Q&A section the Q&A section of the Weekly Digest that the community manager did in chat. First off, this is in regards to mounting dinosaurs. So pretty much while you're driving the dinosaur, you can only use certain things like the torch, a map, GPS, compass, etc. But weapons wise, your passenger and anyone who's kind of chilling on the dinosaur will be able to use their weapons. Passengers can get on the dinosaur by running up their tail, kind of Fred Flintstone style. They can get on from some kind of docking bay that you build, or even you can hop in the driver's seat of the dinosaur, quote unquote driver's seat, and then dismount, and you should be in that saddle area. And also, interesting fact, if you are picked up by a big enough flying dinosaur that can actually pick up your entire body, while you are hanging by their claws as they're flying, you can actually shoot while you're hanging for dear life on their claws. So literally, you're gonna be able to do flying drive-bys while being held onto by pterodactyls. Not even that, you can do like some Navy SEAL Team 6 shit and just like come in hot, get dropped off in a base, pow pow, infiltration. Oh my god, so many opportunities. It also talks about electricity. So electricity is going to be made by using generators which consume gas, which is going to be made from a plethora of materials mainly revolving around oil, and gas is going to last for a decently long amount of time, but it's also not going to be the easiest thing to get. You're also going to need electrical cable and junction boxes, stuff like that, in order to connect the whole electrical system, power appliances, etc. And one of the appliances that they did confirm is a fridge that will keep any meat that you might have from spoiling. So we do know that there's actually going to be a spoiling system in the game as well. They also answered a question about dino armor, pretty much stating that the only armor for now for dinosaurs was going to be the type of saddle that they are wearing that is mounted on them. And for better saddles, because there are different varieties of saddles for different dinosaurs, there could be like a better saddle for the Tyrannosaurus, and there could be a worse saddle. In order to get the better ones, you're gonna need to go looking for blueprints out in the wild, somehow find that out in order to craft them. Camera-wise, there's gonna be some sort of third-person type of camera. They mentioned like this selfie camera, so I don't think it's gonna be over-the-shoulder third-person, but there is gonna be some sort of third-person so you can appreciate your character in a third-person. They also talked about map stuff and kind of how things carry over from server to server, which I think is actually very interesting and has to do with the story a little bit. So map knowledge is going to be kept until death and actually travels across servers, and even like single player to multiplayer. So if you explore the entire map in single player, you're good to go. You're going to know that when you jump into multiplayer or something of the sort. There's also a waypoint system in game where on your map you can set waypoints and, you know, points of interest, stuff like that, and that will also be saved across servers to my knowledge. Now here's the interesting part that kind of caught my attention. You can quote unquote digitize dinosaurs and items and even dossiers at obelisk points and they'll go into this profile that goes across servers. So theoretically, you might be able, because they didn't elaborate a whole bunch on this, but I think you might be able to carry over blueprint knowledge and maybe even entire dinosaurs and entire items to different servers. But you have to go to these obelisks that I'm guessing have to do with the story, and it won't be super easy, but still, that's something to keep an eye out on there, because that's very interesting and could very well have a deeper gameplay value than I don't know, than the emphasis they gave it, because it wasn't super emphasized, it was just kind of a little bit of a side note in the thing, so I thought that was very interesting. And in news of the alpha keys are being sent out, and you can expect to see them on Friday if you do get in. So good luck to all of you who might have applied for the alpha. Hopefully I get a key as well, because I'm so excited to play this game, and I don't know, I'm excited though, but yeah, alpha keys are being sent out, expect them on Friday. Now then, time for my favorite segment. Welcome to the Dossier Den. So we have 2 dinosaurs in the Dossier Den this week, and that is going to be the Pteranodon and the Sabertooth. And first things first, we're going to go over the Pteranodon. Hopefully I'm not butchering that. So the Pteranodon is a carnivore and skittish. It is a large pterosaur, which I'm guessing is just kind of the general genus slash breed of what a pterodactyl would be. So think pterodactyl. It even says in the thing it is often called a pterodactyl, but technically that is inaccurate with this specific breed. Its diet consists of eating fish and scavenging, kind of like a vulture would do. And it is because of this, it is one of the most common dinosaurs to be found on the island. From what the dossier said, it seems to be pretty hard and difficult to tame. However, it is possible, and if you do tame it, you're going to be able to fly it around the island. Flying it around the island was going to be one of the fastest ways of getting around, but in spite of this, you're kind of going to be sacrificing secrecy because you can't like go through forests. Like everyone's going to know you're in the sky. And also, it's going to be easy to shoot at you while you're in the sky, so you're giving up your safety and secrecy in these types of matters if you are taming this and riding it across the island. And of course, we have the Sabertooth. So the Sabertooth is a carnivore and of aggressive temperament. In general, it seems to be a solitary predator that likes to stay in cold, lightly wooded areas, so you're going to be finding it in the mountains usually. It tends to attack with its fangs and claws, and sometimes it'll hunt in small packs to take down bigger prey, so think mammoths and possibly even in big enough packs. It's said in the dossier they might even hunt Tyrannosaurus rexes, which would be very interesting to see one of those battles. Now, once you tame them, they serve to be pretty good, pretty fast, not as fast as a raptor, but still they are agile and nice little ride. However, this interesting thing is that they can actually skin corpses, so they are pretty good at skinning corpses, and this is going to be a great way of getting hide for crafting and things like that. That's it for the den this week, so hopefully you guys do tune back in next week to see next week's iteration of the Dossier Den. I'm hoping to get something pretty special done for it. I will have to see how that goes, but get a little bit hyped. I'm hoping next Dossier Den can be a little bit special. And of course, I promised some community interaction. That's what you're about to get. So I picked 3 comments I really liked from the last video, and I went ahead, boom, posted them on screen, and also asked the community manager kind of questions relating to these questions or comments that you guys may have left down below. So here you can see the first comment that I'm going to be featuring, which is pretty much asking is if you can put C4 on your pet, is pretty much saying how you can put C4 on your pets and even make like suicide bombers out of them. And that's where I thought of the idea, because I also heard somewhere else that pterodactyls can pick up bodies and even other dinosaurs like dodos. I thought of the idea, could you technically make a bomber squadron out of pterodactyls and dodos and or bodies with C4 attached to them? And I actually asked this question, and from what I heard, this seems to be possible, so you guys better start making some air divisions in the bases and tribes you're going to be making, because I'm going to have a bomber squadron, I'm going to hopefully get Fly to lead it, and it's going to be badass. Here's the next featured comment that was pretty much talking about dinosaur and creature breeding, etc., stuff like that, so I went ahead and asked that to the community manager, and he said pretty much as of right now, you will see some eggs in game, but pretty much during the beginning of the EA phase, they're mainly being used for food. However, they are considering it, and ideas are floating around, and hopefully they do end up implementing it, because this kind of idea of raising an egg, especially you can see in here, I talked about the Titanoboa specifically. Using an egg is actually a cool way to incorporate domestication of animals who might be resistant to knockout stuff like the Titanoboa. And then we have this third comment, which is a bit lengthy, but pretty much just talking about pirates and pirate ships and stuff along those lines. So you can see this here. Pause the video if you want to read all of it. And I went ahead and asked about pirate ships and ships, boats, if there's going to be any type of that system in the game, to which he replied that at the moment they'll need to see. It's not something that's in-game, and they are fiddling with the idea of having vehicles, including stuff like water travel, which would have to do with boats, even possibly jeeps and helicopters later down. That's something good to keep an eye out on. However, currently not much there, but he does like the idea, and I did mention how it'd be really cool to get like even entire navies of megalodons and pirate ships and literally rule the seas and have epic naval battles. I mean, there's so much potential here, and I can't wait to see what happens. However, that is going to do it for this week's edition of ARK Survival Evolved News, going over the ARK Weekly Digest. So thank you guys so much. Feel free, as you saw, I did these comments, threw them up on screen, and even asked the developer about them. And that's kind of what I want to do, is I want to pick a couple of your guys' comments. I want to ask them to the developer and even start a bit of a conversation, even if your comment isn't specifically a question. If it's just an idea or a conversation you're having, that's stuff I could very well ask the developer and feature on the next video. So I highly encourage you to leave a comment down below and hopefully get on the video, because I want to see the best ideas you guys have possible. And I want to see you guys having conversations down there as well and discussing stuff, because that also makes it easier for me to see something that you guys, the community, really like, is if there's a lot of discussion around it. So I don't know, that's my idea, and hopefully I can get you guys a bit more involved and hopefully even let you guys have an influence on ARK the game, because from the ideas I mentioned, you know, the community manager seemed to really like some. So keep on suggesting, and hopefully I can get you guys situated there. But alas, that is going to do it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Next video will be out next Wednesday. I'm going to make this pretty much, unless there's massive news being dropped, and make it once a week, and probably the Dossier Den will have 3 dinosaurs next time. So gonna be excited what dinosaurs that is. But that is going to do it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. As always, if you did, be sure to like and subscribe. Signing out. Love you guys.